Afternoon guys, James here, back at the boat show. Don't seem to be able to get away at the moment. You can see, just spin round, we are pretty much the last one here at the show, and this is the lovely Predator 75. Now, I've done a couple of tours and sea trial docking videos on the 74, which is obviously very similar in a lot of respects. But this afternoon, this one's coming back with us to Swanwick, so I thought, why not join us on board? It's a little bit fresh out here, a bit of rain around, so if I can, I might get the drone out later just to show you docking back into Swanwick. But you can see, pretty typical how we'd have a boat around here. We're on a finger pontoon, and then we've got a bit of space out in front of us there to exit the show, and we'll be off through the docks and out into Southampton water. So I will do a full start-up and departure procedure with you, just so you can see how this all works. So in the back here, we have a set of battery switches, which is quite common on the Sunseekers to see it in the cockpit. Just a little bit easier when you first come on board. So I'd already turned those on. You can see the lights are on, the doors open. You'll have to excuse the noise of the radio chattering away, so that's the commercial traffic here in the port. I'm just going to drop the door down. It makes it a little easier for us to see out of the back when we get underway. So drops right down into the deck, and I've just been down to the engine room and turned all the breakers on from where we've isolated some of the circuits during the show to stop little fingers from playing on the buttons. Right, so down here, these are like a little immobiliser, so we just put those in. Ignition's on. You'll hear the fans in the engine room with the door open, and then here, double tap on there, we've got a blue light, and that now means the engines are ready to start. So literally just push that and she comes to life. I've unlocked the side door, so that spins open there. That will give me a bit more visibility as we come out here. See, the wind's on the starboard side at the moment, so that's going to be blowing us off the mooring here, and then we shall power up stabiliser. This is the steering system. We can control the response of the boat, if you like, and then we've got the hydraulic thrusters there. Double check all of that works, and this is live instantly, so as soon as I touch that, I will just momentarily check that that all works. Now, she does about 8 knots as soon as you put both engines in gear, so we have to be quite careful on this one. I don't have a chart card in. I'm just going to shut that door, it's a bit windy in here. Yeah, don't have a chart card in, so it's not going to give us detailed cartography, but you can see this is us here right down in the bottom of Southampton water. This is the commercial docks, which is what's out here, cruise terminal and what have you, and then we'll be running up Southampton water here, and the Hamble River's about here, and then we'll be taking a hard left. There's some cardinal marks and stuff that we'll see as we do on the other videos, and then we'll be up to Swanwick Marina, where she'll be berthed for the next few weeks. So that's pretty much it. Just accept that. So that's our autopilot control if we wanted to use that. So the radio's on channel 12, port ops, monitoring 16 as well for any distress, and you can see a bit of commercial traffic moving around out there. Right, so I'm just going to have a quick should be around downstairs. So JB, our engineer's just been around, checked all the doors are shut, windows are shut and what have you, ready to go. We've been down in the engine room, had a quick check, and we're happy, got our safety kit and what have you. So we're doing it just with the two of us, obviously quite a nice way to show how something like this would be manoeuvred tight in port. Obviously got controls here, and then the option with this particular one's got a joystick in the back aft end of the cockpit. Today I'm going to do everything here from the helm, and what we'll do is we'll slip off our spring lines. I can then hold it on the engines whilst we get ready for departure. So you can see we've got some lines here, not doing much at the moment, so as the wind is pushing us this way onto the port side. So I just need to tease it forward so that we don't touch the bathing platform on the back end. You can see that's all quite tight down there, and then we'll get off and away. So I've just come round off the boat so you can see what we're going to do. So I suspect, we'll see how the wind gets on, probably bring the boat out nose into this bottom corner here, and then I might reverse out through the gap, or I might take the nose out. We'll just see how we get on with this sort of 18, 20 knot wind coming onto our starboard. Look at that racy shape. Very, very cool boat. This particular one finished with that grey hull band, and then we got the black painted top. You can see the radar scanner spinning away. That's a Simrad system on this particular boat. They really do look like they're racing along at 40 knots, even when they're at a standstill. So we're going to take our springs off here, this one, then this will be the last one to go. JB will jump on, and then we'll be away. Okay, so just last line, he's just taken off on the back, and we're away. Now, wind's quite strong here, so look out this window. You can see that pontoon down there, so we can't come too far this way. Right, down there. Tease it out gently there.
Yes, Martina, she's working on Bourne Gap now at the moment. She's quite perfectly. No major other movements at the moment for you. Okay.
So I'm just walking the boat out, literally bit by bit on the...
Salam to VTS, JDW. JDW, VTS, good morning.
Controls there.
VTS, JDW, pleasant good morning. Let's get underway, please, from 22 berth to allow the Wittonia alongside the wall and then back outside the Wittonia.
Once I'm clear on the back, which I think I now am, come across on my thrusters. See the boat slowly moving sideways. We're absolutely broadside in the cross tide at the moment, just full on my thrusters there. Need to create a bit of space before I can spin round. Nice thing with hydraulic thrusters, they've got plenty of power, so this isn't a problem in terms of overheating them. So I'm now just doing one ahead, one astern, bit by bit. I should just about have enough room to get round. A little bit of help from the bow thruster there. Obviously with big 4 grade bronze props, we've got plenty of power. And the 3,800 horsepower underneath the cockpit floor. And you just see, nice and gentle. And we're out. So, I can engage both if I wanted to now, but we're just going to keep things nice and slow. Looks a bit grey, look over there. Very, very clear that autumn is not far away now. So JB's just going to pull the fenders up there. There's no point in stowing everything away today. We try and get the drone up when we get back to Swanwick, and then you'll get a bit of a feel for what this one's like out on the open sea. Just hearing a bit of chat on the traffic. Looks like one of the ships will be going soon down there, and you can see the boat show here. Just come across. There we go, pretty much everything out now. So you can see I've got my radar running on here, so that's each ring you can set up depending on what sort of distance you want, how far you want to see ahead. So that's set on 3 mile rings, 1, 2, 3 at the moment. So I'm going to bring that in about half a mile and a mile. We've still got reasonably good visibility out here at the moment, so not that important. And then you can see some little white ship marks on there as well. So those are what we call AIS targets. So that's an identification system either for commercial vessels or vessels over a certain size, and then it's becoming more and more common to see them on privately owned yachts, both sometimes send and receive, or perhaps receive only. We actually have a transceiver on board, so we can broadcast our position as well as receiving, and it's really handy in these sort of busier areas. If we had a chart card in here, it would make more sense, but you can see the vessels around us that have got those sorts of systems set up. and it helps then to stay out of other people's way if needed. So this one's moving. You see this is us here, and then these are stationary where they have just a silhouette mark on the plotter. This is engine telemetry down here, so we've got a couple of different screens. You can see temperatures and pressures, what have you. So we're doing 30 litres an hour at the moment, just over 8 knots running.
I think it'll be there. Afternoon again, right? Yeah, afternoon. We're done at Thorn Gap now, and we're on our way to North Thorn.
So there we have it. Right, let's leave it there. We'll check back in a bit. We've got about 15-minute run slow speed here. Once we get to Hythe Pier, we'll be able to open the boat up, see what she does. Okay, so here we are. We've just passed Hythe Pier, back there where the speed limit finishes. You can see the speed up top here, fuel burning here, and we're just going to gently ease the boat up onto the plane. Now I've got the fin stabilisers running. You can see here at the moment, not that we really need them today. And we've just closed the roof as it was starting to rain a bit. So turbocharged engines, and you'll feel that whoosh as she starts to pick up. You can hear them boosting now, and the boat comes up and out of the hole and onto what we call the plane. So we're now sitting up and on top of the water. Still pretty good visibility. You're just spinning around, so you're in my eye line there. You see exactly what I'm seeing, and we're running there at what I would consider to be a pretty good typical cruising speed on the boat here. So 22 knots, and we're burning just under 400 litres an hour there, which gives us a range of about 250 miles. We'll just ease that forward. The boat isn't factory fresh underneath, a little bit of weed and what have you, so it probably won't do top speed today, but you can see a fast cruise now. They're up to 27 knots, and we're just burning about 550 litres an hour combined. And I've got a sailing yacht coming up ahead of us, so look out the back, check nobody's coming. He's going to come across in front of us, so we'll pass behind and then we won't upset him too much. We've got the harbour masters ahead. He's obviously gone out to meet some commercial traffic. We've got the ferry on the outbound, and I can see the red jet on the distance as well. So you can see on this is the sailing boat coming across in front of us, and then we've got also some other boats ahead of us. So it looks like he's now clear, and we'll open her back up. Looks like the rain's staying away, so we'll pop the roof open. So that's on a one touch. You can see it's just doing its thing up there. And let's just open her up. We're punching really big spring tides as well, so we've probably got 2.5 knots of tide against us. You can see the fins there, so only making very, very small adjustments there. And you can see the fuel burn increasing there, and the speeds up there, which I think we'll probably get to sort of about where that is now. And just a gentle pitching motion there over the swell that's come up from the southwest yesterday when we were out on the 156. Lovely wake shot out the back there. This boat weighs about 45 tonnes, so pretty solid in the water. And once the red jets come past, we'll just head on over to the port side of the channel, stick the camera up. You have to excuse the wind up here, but lovely view. Nice thing, you can see I'm stood on the step here, so you can be out head in the wind if you want to, or dip back down. It's more sedate here behind the screen. So So just checking no little boats around. So we have the, obviously with the fins on, the boat's going to stay pretty flat here as we come into a turn. So we're going over the Harbour Master's wash here. It won't make no difference on a boat of this size, very gentle through the water. And then we've got some wash here from the fast cap. Now if I turn the fins off now, they're just centering, it'll ease that back so that they can sort themselves out. Come back to rest and try and show you how they work. Try not to flood the platform on the back there, so that stern wave just catches us up. I don't want to confuse the dredger ahead of us. So if I now come across, open the side door here, try and get the boat broadside in these waves. Put it right, so it's now in anchor mode, and you can see the fins now moving, and the boat stays dead level. There's not a huge amount of wash out here, so it's hard to show how good this is, but it will hold the boat. It's roll reduction, not roll elimination. You still get a little bit of movement. You can see how they're working there to counteract the weather. So we take it off anchor, it'll centre up, and then it'll start to notice when we're underway again. Shut that door.
Yes, please, sir. Thank you.
And we get up and going again. So it's moved back into cruising. You can still see the fins moving around. Check behind us, nobody's coming.
Yeah, we're champion VTS, all understood, sir. Thank you.
And just literally standing start, throttles down. You'll hear the boost, and off she'll go. Rapid boat out of the water for something that, say, this size. Look at that, off she goes. Very, very impressive indeed. I'm going to stick our head up again so we can have some visibility out the top here. Fins are still on. They don't do much at this sort of speed, to be honest, because on a day like today, really the boat pitches 4.5 like this. You don't get too much roll on a reasonably calm day. Punching into that tide, so we're not going to get the wide open throttle. You can see we've picked up a little bit now. We'll do some gentle turns here. Fins obviously will fight the steering, so we won't get much banking into a turn, but for I say a boat of this size, look at that speed. We're still doing over 30 knots. Look how responsive. She is so agile, but yet graceful in the water. It's a really, really nice boat to drive. Proper boys' toy, this one. But equally at home cruising with the family, we have lots of this sort of thing down in the Adriatic, where they spend weeks away at anchor, big water maker systems and all the things to allow them to be pretty self-sufficient. I'm just going to ease that speed back. Just stay out of the channel so we don't confuse anybody here. As we head back towards the entrance into the river. So we've got the South Cardinal, which is the yellow and black double arrow on that buoy just up ahead of us. I'm just going to turn hard over here. Make it obvious to the rib in front what they're doing. He's gone round us there, and then we're going to do a hard left in just a sec and into the river. So I'm just going to come across here, have a quick look, check we're clear, and then we'll do a nice big slow banking turn round into the river before our speed limit starts. So just spin the wheels, hydraulic steering, so very, very soft. What a place to be. What a cool boat. I really do love these. Look at that. Straighten our steering up and come back, easing back the throttles nice and gently. Let that wash out the back, catch us up, and that's it. So we've got about 25 minutes slow speed as normal back into the handle and up to Swanwick. We'll join you back for some docking hopefully in the not too distant future. Okay, so we're just coming back into Swanwick, as you can see. Nice Sunseeker 88 yacht. There, brought everything back to tick over. We've got the fin stabilisers locked back off, you can see on the panel there, and we will be docking in to a berth just over here on the right hand side in the not too distant future. So hopefully you can see on the drone above an idea of where we're going to go. Just to check my thrusters are working. And we're actually going in alongside where that 52 Manhattan is over there. Just off to our right hand side. So what we can do here, just have to obviously check on the back end, as there's a lot of boat still behind us. So we will perform a quick 180 here. So the wind's on the nose, obviously the pennant flag up the front there is quite handy, just to keep an eye on the conditions around us. So that's obviously on the nose. The tide is coming in, which means it's coming across this way. So the tide's going to push us into the berth. Steering's going to take us, sorry, the wind's going to take us off the berth, and we'll have to see which one is going to have the most effect on us. Once we get into the mooring. So I'm pretty much cross tide now. Doesn't look like there's too much flow at the moment. And I'm just gently moving my controls here to keep everything nice and slow. Spin that drone round. So pretty much straight over the berth now. And we can start our manoeuvre. So just going to get a bit of momentum underway there for a spin. It's quite handy on the screen there, you can see how that works. Once I feel that I've got my bathing platform clear of the yacht behind, squared up on the pontoon, coming round just right. So we can now see the pontoon back there. Now we could, obviously, if we wanted to, go and use the controls in the back part of the cockpit. You can obviously see them over there on the back left hand side of the boat. But for me, I generally like to try and do this from here. At the bridge, just because I've got all the controls. See the screen there, it's coming in very nicely. And just little inputs on my thrusters here just to square the boat up. Pretty good. Little gap off the side there. You're still calling us back in. Some crew will shout you back in distance, but on a nice calm day like today, we don't really need to do that. He'll just tell me when he's happy. Now what we could do, as always, put a little bit of thruster on, you'll see that boat come across, and that's basically going to pin us. See how that's squaring the boat up onto the pontoon? That's now pinning it on the dock. So he's got a stern line on the back, so obviously that stops the boat coming forward, and then we've got a spring line on, that's the most important one here, to stop the boat going aft. And as soon as we're happy, and she's all tied up, so the drone's actually really handy for that. We're in. Obviously down this side we've got plenty of space, nice 22 metre finger pontoons here, so we can take up to about 80 feet on these. Just come back and you can see what I'm on about in terms of tying off. So there's your stern line on the back, and then we've got the lines down the side. So I hope you enjoyed that. I say just a little brief run, something a bit different to doing the boat tours on the channel, and just like to show really that this is very much within the realms of an experienced owner-operator to run something like this if you want to. Of course we can teach you to do that. We've got in-house skippers and all the resource to take you through from basic up to an advanced sort of yacht master style qualification if you've got the inclination to do so. Contact details if you want to chat about this sort of stuff at any time. It's james@sunseekersouthampton.com, or the mobiles +44 7747 686 587. Nice to go out on the water with you today, and we'll see you soon.